Okay. Welcome to another episode of Life with Fritzih. I'm gonna make pollo guisado with arroz con gandules. For all you that don't know who's American, pollo guisado is kind of like chicken stew in American, but kind of different, more spices. And then the next thing I make is rice with gandules, arroz con gandules, which is rice with chickpeas. I mean not chickpeas, sorry, with pigeon peas. It's an authentic Spanish dish that we all make. It's been in Hispanic culture for decades, years. This one, everybody makes theirs different. I make mine kind of different, authentic, because it's my mom's recipe. She makes everything from scratch, so I learn from the best. So, what I got right here right now is chicken. I'm going to. You can see. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. So, and then this is the chicken broth. Can you see? Okay. So I am going to start out with the chicken, then I'll work over to the rice. So the chicken, I have already took it out the pot. I let it cool, because you gotta let it cool. I cook my chicken, I boil it first. I add a little, which we call, I just add a little bit just to give a little inside flavor, so I add a little bit adobo. This is gonna be your best friend, guys, when it comes to making Spanish food, trust me. And a little bit of this, which is total season. It's called Sazon Total, but total season in English. So I add just a little bit of that while I'm boiling the chicken, just to give it a little bit of extra kick flavor. So the chicken already boiled, it had cooled down. I have the chicken stock. Now the chicken stock, I usually boil the chicken with the chicken fat, the skin, and bones, because that's going to give your pollo guisado lots of flavor. Is this chicken stock with the now when it's done and all, let me wash my hands. When it's done, one second. When it's done, I take it out the pot. Okay, I let it boil. I let it cool. Once I let it cool, once I let the chicken cool, what happens is I start pulling off the chicken fat and I throw it away. I save it because the chicken stock will look, I don't know if I think I showed you earlier. Oh wait, can you see? I showed you earlier anyway, you can see. But anyway, the chicken stock gives the chicken lots and lots of good flavor. If you want, it doesn't have, I use chicken thighs and chicken legs. That's our favorite in the house. That's what we like to use. Sometimes I use chicken wings. Chicken wings also, pollo guisado chicken wings, it's awesome. It's good. So once I take off the chicken fat, which is the skin. Sometimes I might take off the chicken leg bone because it has that little thin piece of bone there. If you had little kids and make it little kids, I suggest to take that chicken off the bone and put it in the pot, throw away the bone and everything, because you don't want to get that stuck in their throat. And whoever, if you don't like it, then take it off. The old thing, I kind of like it though, because my mom does like to suck the juice out of the bone. So to say, it's kind of a Spanish thing, so we like doing that. So I leave the bone on. I like the bone in. It tastes really good. That's just the way I like to cook it. You can cook it different. You can use also chicken breast. I know a lot of people don't like chicken thighs. A lot of people don't like chicken bone. A lot of people don't like chicken thighs or chicken legs. And sometimes they don't like pollo guisado chicken wings neither. But you can take that off. You can use whatever chicken you want. Like if you want to use a chicken breast, whatever. A lot of people like making their pollo guisado with like neck bones added with whatever you want. It's really good, however you like to make it. But today I'm just making chicken thighs and chicken legs. You can use it whatever you want to use. Chicken breast, use chicken breast, same thing. Just cut it up, boil it, put it in the pot, same thing. With chicken breast, unless you buy the chicken breast with the bone in, you can cut it off, whatever. Okay, so like I said, we started to cut off the fat, which I cut off a lot of the fat. This is the chicken thigh. This one I took off the little chicken fat earlier. But right now what I'm doing is peeling off all the chicken fat I put it in it. I like with the whole chicken and everything. You know, I don't cut up the chicken thigh. Like this, you see how this? Just take this off. Once it's cool, you don't want to burn. I don't want nobody to burn themselves. Please let the chicken cool. If you take it out with the chicken hot, you're gonna burn your hands, your fingers, and yeah, probably a lot of emergency visits and first aid. You don't want that. So you want to take off the chicken fat, which I just did. See, chicken fat is off. So we're gonna do that for every piece of chicken. We're gonna take off the chicken fat. Some of these, like this right here, some of these already have the chicken fat. Some of them I took it off before I put it in the pot because once I wash the chicken. Oh, that's another thing. Sorry, I didn't stress that. Before you even cook the chicken, put it in a pot, wash the chicken. I usually wash it with vinegar and salt. A lot of people use other things, but I wash it with vinegar and salt. I wash it a couple times. Oh, sorry. I wash the chicken a couple times with vinegar and salt. You wash it about 3 or 4 times. Then you put it in the pot and let it boil. And that's what I do. So, as you can see, I'm taking off all the fat and make sure all the fat is off the chicken bone. Like I said, I like cooking with the chicken bone in it because once this is all said and done, and this chicken is really good. Once this is all said and done, the bones taste really good. When you suck the juice out of it, it tastes really good. I promise you. So, as you can see, I'm taking off. Just peel it off. Very easy, just like this. Take all this fat off. Now, like I said, I do cook with the fat because the fat gives it flavor. It also gives like that chicken stock. That fat it makes it that chicken stock, which makes it really good, really good for when you're going to make the pollo guisado. I know a lot of Jamaicans, you will call it curry chicken stew, whatever. They make theirs with curry. We don't make ours with curry. That's something different. So you make that, okay? Once you get that, I'm gonna put the rest of this in there. See, that chicken stew looks kind of like, oh, you can see it, but I think I spilled something on my counter. I'll clean that up though. So yeah, that's how you start that. Once you have that in there, once you have it in the pot, you can turn the stove on. Which right now is the next step, and I'm going to show you what I put in my pollo guisado, how I season it, what I put in, the vegetables I put in, stuff like that, and how I do to cook. So just stay tuned. I'm gonna put everything on the pot, and I'll be back in just 2 seconds. Okay, everybody. So as you see, I did the chicken stock, which I'm going to show you. Okay, see, that is what. Sorry for that close up. That is what it would look like. This is without anything in it. Now I'm gonna put the stove on medium high, or a little bit above medium. If you want, you can put it actually. If you want, you can put it on high, and then once it starts boiling, you put it down to medium high, somewhere around there, so it doesn't burn. You don't want your food to burn. So, okay, we are going to start out. So I turned my stove on. I got my chicken in, right? So in here, as you can see, woo, I have in here. These are the when I do the video, I want to post in the recipe. I'm gonna write at the end of the video the recipe to make the chicken and the rice. I'm gonna post it in the back, so whoever wants it can see it. More than welcome. If you want, you can drop comments below this video after the video is over, and you can ask me any questions if you want. If the video is going too fast and you can't catch the recipe at the end, just drop your comments below, hun, and I will actually, or you could drop your comments. I can actually write you out the recipe in the comments, or I can email you. If you send me an email, Instagram, wanna message me, whatever, Facebook, whatever, you can do so, and I will gladly give you the recipe to this. So to start off, we're gonna add the vegetables first. In here, I had cut up 1 tomato. I also have cilantro in here. Depending on how much you're making, I'm making a pretty big pot because it's pretty many of us. So if you're making a small pot, you don't need that much. So you can have cilantro. You don't have to put that much in. If you're making a big pot, if you're making like a big pot, I usually put half the stalk of cilantro, or sometimes I put the whole thing. More the better, it doesn't matter. But since I have it funny, I put almost the whole stock in there. So you got, you got tomatoes, you got cilantro, I have half a green pepper in here. I put half green pepper. But look, I put two medium potatoes and 1 small potato. So I use 3 potatoes. You must add potatoes. So I have potatoes. I cut up 1 tomato. If you want to add more, you can. I put a whole stalk of cilantro because I have a bigger pot, so I'm gonna have more family. Half a green pepper and onion. I cut up half an onion. And sorry guys. So, which I gotta come and do because I didn't get it. I forgot to cut the onion. So, sorry guys. Hold on. Alright, just want to come back and make sure. So, I had cut up, like I said, I cut up half an onion, half a pepper. I put a whole stalk of cilantro. Oh, I'm sorry. I had put some shredded carrots in here. I put like a whole hand, like, you know, you get a bag. I put a handful of shredded carrots. You can use regular carrots, whole carrots, and just cut it up. Use 1 carrot and cut it up if you want to do that. I didn't add no celery, but you can add celery too if you want. I didn't add none, but on this one I didn't add none, so I'm not putting no celery in it. But I did put a handful of shredded carrots, the carrots that come shredded. So I did add that, and half an onion, half a green pepper, 1 tomato, a stalk of cilantro, 3 potatoes. So I'm going to cut this up. Just give me a second. Cutting up the onion. So you know what I'm putting in here? So this is so while I'm cutting this up, I want you guys to tell me, how was your Sunday going? How was your weekend? What did you do this weekend? Tell me, talk to me, baby. I hope it was better, more interesting and fascinating. Mine was boring, but I have my mom here and my kids and my husband, so makes you happy, right? So it was okay. We were just bored. Just didn't have nothing to do this weekend. So I guess, you know, it's a good day. Every day is a good day, right? Okay, so now I have my onion, everything cut up. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had everything prepared. I wanted to have everything cut up so I didn't have to like really cut nothing out when I did this video. Just had everything prepared, but obviously I forgot the onion. Here we go. This whole jar full of vegetables, because that's going to go in the pot first. Okay, so we got everything in there. Right? You should get all that good stuff in here. All that good stuff. All that good stuff. So you want to make sure you mix this up. Mix it, and you throw it in the pot, and you mix it all up. I forgot how that song goes. It's a kid song. I forgot. Anyway, so you want to make sure all that's in there. You should be in my house, and that smells so good. I don't know, onions and peppers and yes, that's too. Oh my god, it smells so good. So, I'm mixing this up. Mix it, mix it, mix it. So I'm a little crazy. Okay, so we got that stuff in. Now, shake the mark. Okay, so this right here is called, you see, it's called Goya Mojo. Now these come in different like flavors. They have like naranja, which is like orange or grapefruit or whatever. They have a couple of these different types. I like using this one. It's what I always use. It makes the food taste really, really good. So I add just a little bit of it. Just a couple drops of it. Just like that. Oh, another thing. We don't measure. I am so sorry. We eyeball it most of the time. It comes like that's our measuring cup right here. Our eyeballs. Our eyeballs are a measuring cup. Sorry. But I can tell you, if you, like I said, everything will be cut in half. So if you're making a small pot, just half of this, you're not gonna make so much. So I would figure, and what I tell you about the vegetables, hey, if you made vegetables, you wouldn't, they ain't gonna do nothing. If you have high blood pressure and whatnot, you want to not use so much. Let me turn this on a little bit since I'm talking on the phone. Since you don't, and I'm sorry, my lighting has been my light up there blew out, so I'm using my stove light. So sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So you want to use not so much salt. I don't want nobody to go into no cardiac arrest or nothing like that, because Fritzih's recipe called for a lot of food with salt. Please don't do that. So this you can't get salt free or no salt. If you want, you could put just a little bit of it in there just to give it some flavor. You will get flavor. This here comes, it used to be just but the red and the blue, which the blue is no pepper, the red is wet pepper, black pepper. As you can see, Goya logo. Okay, now this, they do have one that's sodium free, and it comes in a blue container. The lid is blue. This one's red. The lid is blue. So if you have a low salt intake, if you are no sodium, you can have no sodium. This right here comes in a blue. It has a blue lid, and it's sodium free. So that's just a tip for you guys. So if you can use that, because it tastes the same. It just doesn't have all the salt intake as this one has. That's the only difference. Okay, so this sofrito here, which is called recadito, you can buy this in any Spanish store. Walmart even sells them. I'm using this one right now because I ran out of my homemade sofrito. So, but there's gonna be another segment I'm gonna show you how to make sofrito on your own. So you don't have, trust me, you'll save a lot of money. Even though this costs like $1.99, $2, something like that. You'll save a lot of money if you make your own. You buy all your ingredients and make your own, and you'll have enough for about 2 jars. And that you can freeze one, and you can have one in the refrigerator and use that one to get the one out the freezer. So it's much better. The homemade is much better. I'm gonna show you how to make that one day. So you just have your own sofrito for your rice, all your stuff you want to use, whatever. But this is sofrito, so you're gonna add some of this, which is called recadito, but sofrito, green sofrito. So let me get a spoon. Okay, so I have a big, if you have a small pot, you can use about 3 of these little spoons like this. I have a big pot, so I'm using a little bit more. But if you have a small pot, you can use 3. If you're gonna use a big one, you can use 4. It doesn't matter how much you use. So that's the green sofrito. Okay. Then you wash your spoons every time you dip into another jar. You don't want, these things do go bad. Like if you dip, and when you go, you're gonna have like mold in there because you're not washing the utensils when you switch them. Good tip. So this is called The orange sofrito, you call it sofrito amarillo, you call it. But I use this. I buy this sofrito amarillo. This is what I use all the time. See? Oh wait, no, must be down. Sorry. See that? That's the orange sofrito. This is what I use. The same thing. 3 little spoons if you have a small pot. You can use 4 of these spoons if you have a big, whatever. They're small, so it's not that much. So you want to use, I use this, and this I buy in the store, but remember the green sofrito I usually make, but because of, I ran out, I had to use the store-bought. I hate using the store-bought, but it does a job, it tastes good. So, you can also add beans to this, to add it with the chicken. You can put a white rice, which I want to show you one day how to make white rice too. So I'm making rice gandos, which is red rice, but you can use, people usually, especially if you make it with white rice. I'm going to show you one day how to make the white rice one day. So that's already got the 2 sofritos in there, right? The mojito, I put that in there. You want to use at least, see this? You can use any tomato paste. I'm using Goya. I'm really advertising for Goya today, ain't I? Goya, holla at me. Si es Goya, tiene que ser bueno. So this is using Goya. In other words, if it's Goya, it has to be good. So anyway, that's where this song goes. But it is good. I like this stuff. Beans and everything. So you are going to use, it don't have to be the Goya tomato paste. It can be any tomato paste. I bought this because I was in a rush in the store. And I need tomato paste, so I just went and bought 1 can. But, so I only use 1 of these spoons. That's it. Of tomato paste. That's all I use. I don't use anything more than that. You don't need that. You don't need that much tomato paste. Just one of these spoons. This is like my measuring cup. My measuring spoon. So one of this spoon like that, you're good. So I mix it in. Then you want to get must. I am sorry. You see these cans? I'm gonna bring them out to you now. You do see these cans. You do see these cans. A tomato. Oops. Let me stop moving. Okay. You do see these tomato cans and different like generic can Hunts sells these. A lot of companies sell these, but if you're making authentic Spanish food, this is the way to go. See that? See that? This is the way to go. Okay? And I'm telling you because this is the authentic Spanish tomato sauce that you need to use for your food. The other ones are gonna make your food taste bland. Trust me. Don't. I mean, I ran out of this one day, and I used the generic one I had, and Lord have mercy, biggest mistake I ever made. I'm telling you, we didn't eat. I'm sorry, I didn't even throw it, and I went and ordered pizza. It was bland. So, you know, I mean, you could add like a little bit of sofrito, a little bit of whatever, extra sofrito, extra adobo, whatever, to doctor it up if you want to. But the tomato paste has to be this, Goya, okay? Goya tomato, remember that, Goya tomato paste. So, I am going to, sorry, you see my kids walking back and forth. So, since this is a big pot, I'm using the whole can. Okay, I use the whole can. If it's a small pot, half of that. Remember I said everything gets cut in half. So if it's a smaller pot, it's half a can. And what I like to do is add just a little drink of water in there, just to mix up the little sauce in there and dump it in there. It's not gonna hurt it, trust me. Okay, so we got the tomato sauce, we got the vegetables, the tomato paste, we got the 2 sofritos, and we have the mojito. I call it mojito. So we have that, correct? Okay. So we have that. Next on our list, which right here, This is what you want. I mean, they do have generic brand of this. Nor sells it. Forgot what the other Spanish brand is. They're good. Trust me, they are. But like I said, Goya, Hala. Goya is also, you won't ever go wrong with Spanish Goya, okay? So right here. Sazon Goya. This you use in everything. You use it to season your meat. You use it to put it in stews. You use it to beans, your rice. This is going to be your best friend. Sazon and adobo. Goya. Goya. You know, when we were little, we used to call my sister is Gloria, and we used to call her Goya, and she used to hate it. But shout out to my sister Gloria. Holla. Okay. So, for the stew, you only going to need 1 packet. You don't need, now if you're seasoning, now if this is like a bigger pot, like us Puerto Ricans, we do have a lot of party. We be like, oh, whip out. Stop. So we do, so if it's a bigger pot, we use 2. I use 2. This pot only requires 1. For the small pot too, 1 packet. Don't cut this in 1 packet. You're good. You're good. So remember, Sazon Goya. Come on, phone. Okay, Sazon Goya. This is where it's at. Okay, you're gonna need 1 of these. 1 pocket of this. Open that. Put it in the pot. Boom. You're good. Next on there would be, like remember I tell you, I use this. Not everybody does use this. Not everybody uses the Sazon Total from Goya, but I do. Because it makes your food taste good. I like it. I just like using it. I would say, remember these have salt in it, so you don't want to overdo it. Because you won't enjoy it because it's going to be salty. And you don't want that. So I would say, I'm going to measure it in my cup. And I can actually tell you. So this, right here, this is what? 1/4, and this is a 1/2 cup. But I'm going to tell you how much I'm going to use. Yeah. So I used, actually, I'm sorry, people, hold on. I actually use 1/3. I'll tell you exactly. I'm sorry, 1/8. I used 1/8 because I used half of the thing. So I used 1/8. 1/8 of Sazon Total. Okay. The adobo, I'm also going to put it in here. Same thing, 1/8. So I measured it for you. I don't measure, but I measured it for you. For this big pot, 1/8. Smaller than that, you use half of that. Okay, so you don't have to use so much. And as you're cooking, until you get to know, like until you get like to master what you need to put and how much, I would, as I'm going along, stir. As I'm putting each seasoning in it, I will stir the pot. Taste. Make sure that you don't want to make sure it's not bland. That you're putting and it don't have no flavor. Make sure it doesn't. It's okay with salt, but that's okay. Right? You're good with that for this big pot. Smaller pot, you want half of that. So black pepper. You're gonna add black pepper. Any black pepper will do. I'm a cheapie. I'm gonna live on a budget, so we're going with the Pure Grand. This one right here, 89 cents. I'm a cheapie. McCormick, if y'all bougie and got money, you can buy whatever you want, but cheap. So, just a couple sprinkles. Oh my God, I want to sneeze. Just a couple sprinkles of black pepper. I'll use. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. I tell you, I was gonna sneeze. So you want to use, I want to say a teaspoon, no, half a teaspoon of black pepper. So I use also, same, half a teaspoon. So we're going to put half a teaspoon. If it's a big pot like this, a teaspoon of it. But I use garlic powder, which you're going to put in there too. This is what I put in there. So garlic powder. You use oregano. Oregano, you can use my, you don't want to overdo it. I use a couple sprinkles of this. I mean, so it does have some flavor in there. Don't have to be a whole lot. Oregano don't have no salt, so whatever. I use some parsley too. A couple sprinkles of parsley, not so much. Onion powder as well. See, you use onion powder. Same thing. Stuff like that. Sorry. Okay. Sometimes it stays stuck. So remember, half a teaspoon of onion powder. Half a teaspoon, a teaspoon onion powder, depending on what size your pot is. And sorry, I'm looking for stuff here. Okay, same thing. You can use half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. Remember, you measure it. You figure out how much is enough. I would say half a teaspoon of paprika. Not much. Just half a teaspoon. Not even. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Look, I didn't put that in yet. So, this is paprika. So, I will put about 4 dashes of this, of paprika. Okay, 4 or 5 dashes of paprika. That's what I use. Oh, we also use comino, which I don't have, which is okay. If you don't have it, it's alright. What season's not gonna hurt it. But I usually use comino too. Comino, which is cumin, ground cumin. We use a couple sprinkles of that too, not so much. About 4 sprinkles, the same. So I use that. You don't have to use this. I use it. And that's basically all your seasonings, right? Oh, I'm sorry, an Italian seasoning. I use some of this too. It makes it taste really good. So I like using Italian seasoning. Remember, Italian seasoning, oregano, parsley don't have no salt on it, so you know, I don't know how much. Just a couple sprinkles. You don't need much of that. Though that's fit for. Sorry. That is it for the seasonings for the Portuguese salad. Now you want to let this boil, and with the potatoes, it's going to thicken up. It's going to get pretty thick. So I would say, you could boil this for about like a half hour on medium high. A little lower, like boil it on medium high for about half hour. You want to cover it. Okay, so you want to cover the pot. That's all the seasoning you need for that. Okay, I always test it. Always like this on my hand. Good stuff. And once you cover it, you're going to boil for half an hour. You're going to come back. You could check on it like every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. Make sure it's okay. Make sure it doesn't burn. If it's boiling too much and you start like steaming too much, you can turn it down some more. You're going to have to keep it on medium high. Turn it down a little bit more. Let it boil for about half an hour to the sauce. You see the sauce thicken up. When it thickens up, then you know it's done. Taste it and you know it's done. And that's about it. That's all for the Portuguese salad. But for right now, I am... That's not good. Sorry guys, I'm looking for a lid. I'll use this, but whatever. So Remember, half an hour, you're good. Check on every 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure that it's not burning or sticking to the bottom, whatever. Make sure it's sticking up okay, and you're good and you cover it. Now it's time for the rice gandules. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Give me a second. Ta-da! Welcome back. No, he's fine. So now, people, we're going to start this way. That's even up my camera. How dare you, pot of pollo guisado. This way. So now we're going to start the rice. I want to start off the rice. You can start on high a little bit depending on what type of stove you have. I usually start like in between medium, high, and high. That's where I start, and then I'll leave it there. And then once the rice dries, I'll turn down the medium high. After I turn it, I'll turn down the medium high, or a little bit below medium. So we today, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put oil in your pot. You're gonna need oil to make the rice. Hold on a second. I gotta get the rice for you. Hold on, guys. Anyway, it's a keeper can, but I do. Our rice comes in big bags. It's not the pre-cooked Alcon bread. Sorry, people. It's actually rice. So, the rice I buy is Rico rice, but you can get Goya rice. The regular, I use medium grain rice. So that's the rice I use. I use medium grain. They have long grain, extra long grain. The Chinese use like extra long grain. I don't use that. No sense use that. I use medium grain rice. That's what I use. A lot of people like to use extra long grain, whatever you want to use, you use it. But it has to be the hard rice. So this is the rice we use. I use medium grain. So I use Goya or Rico. They both sell long grain. I use medium grain. I'll just be back this 1 second. Okay, so you're gonna put in some oil. I use canola oil, but I also like using the omega-3 oil. It's kind of canola and some kind of other blend. You can use. It doesn't matter what oil you use. You can use vegetable oil. So you want to cover the bottom of the pot, just a little bit over, not much. Remember, I said I don't measure. So depending on how much rice you're making, you can use a little more. So I have got the oil in the pot. This is what I use. A lot of people like cutting up, like the ham, like the whole ham you buy in the store. A lot of people like cutting up, frying that, putting it in there, and then putting it. I make it like that too. It's really good. But we're gonna start off with, again, like I said, I use for the rice. I use about four of those teaspoons of sofrito. Remember? Sofrito. And then like I said, I use my own, but today I'm using, today I'm using sorry about that. I'm supposed to turn down a little bit. Today I'm using the store-bought sofrito. But this sofrito too, I use, remember, 4 teaspoons of this. Okay? Of this right here. So, 4 teaspoons of the orange, 4 teaspoons of the green. If you have a pot of this, sorry about that. So half a pot of the rice, like a little small pot, you will use half of this. If it's a big pot, like the one I'm using, like this, use a whole can. So that's what we're doing. Also, another good point is I use this pot because it's non-stick, and I like it that when I make it, it doesn't stick. Now, if you're using these pots, this is what Spanish people usually use. These pots. And I do use these pots, but today I'm not using it. They do stick, so I'm not using it that much. Say hello, Deja.
Hi, peeps.
I don't know. Yes. Okay. I know you come over here, so you're going to realize.
That's well on there.
She's in there.
I thought you would have been done cooking.
No, I'm not done. I just asked around there. Thank you. Bye. Next thing you're gonna put in, which I put in, is I put a whole can of this. If you're using a small pan, it's just for like you, 2, 3 people, you can use half of this. Put it in a jar, the other half save it. Do not put it in a can in a refrigerator, because what happens is open can, whatever, grows mold, bacteria, that lead from the can, and it makes you very, 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 very sick, and you don't want to do that. So once you open this can, if you're only going to use half, please put it in a jar, tight lid, put it in the refrigerator. You can save it, and then you use the other half another time. This one. Boxes, I guess, I think. So, you can also, I remember again, I'm using these beans, red kidney beans. Again, Goya, holla. So, that's what I'm using, the Goya pan. But you can, my mom does, and I do too when I have time. Like to boil the beans, the dry beans. They do take about an hour, 2 hours to boil and get salt, whatever, and you can use that, which they taste better, the ones in the dry, because once you boil them, they better, and it tastes much better. Trust me, they do. Sorry guys, I'm looking for my spoon here. My rice spoon. So you want to mix that up, right? Got those beans in there. So you got your can of beans. That's what you're mixing in there. So then you got your sofrito, remember? The sofrito, the 2 sofritos. You got the can of bichuelas, beans. The salsa beans, get that? Tomato paste you can use too. I just don't have no more, so it's okay. If you don't have it, it's alright. So in here, I have more cilantro. I use it in my rice. In my red rice, I always use cilantro. A lot of people don't like using it. They're like, oh, why are you using that sofrito? This gives an extra taste so good, so I use that. Onions and green peppers. Onions, green peppers, cilantro. Put it in, you're good. You're golden. Remember, always wash your vegetables, please. Especially cilantro. You have to wash it. Because when cilantro comes in the ground, when you package it, they don't wash it. Like, you can actually feel like the dirt, the grind on it. So you want to wash it, get all that dirt off. Then use it in your food. Please. Okay, so you have that. You want to mix that up. So again, so you have that. So now, what you want to use now, again, Goya, Goya, Goya people, Goya people, Goya people. Another pack, Sazon, see it? Goya Sazon, the orange one. They do have the white, the other one is without saffron. Achote, what we call them. Without achote, they do have, if you don't like the orange, but honey, I use the orange because the orange gives it color and makes it the color it needs that you need for your food. So I don't use that one. I don't like using one without saffron because food don't come out right. So I always use the one without achote. Get out my camera, girl. And like I said, come on, Deja. Like I said, it'll be 1/8 cup of the sofrito. Remember I said I don't measure, but a lot of people, since y'all people need to learn how to measure, need to know how to measure. That's how much. I would say that, give or take. Remember I said again, also test your food and make sure it does taste right. You don't put like 1/8 cup and then it's bland. Then you're like, oh, she told me 1/8 cup. No, I told you 1/8. I got give or take 1/8, but you know, if you need a little more, you add a little more. Again, this again, Sazón completa, that's what I always use too. 1/8 cup too. But if it's a smaller pot, you want to use less. Don't use more because it's all food's gonna come out salty. Again, the Goya. I don't know if I should see it, but I didn't. Black pepper you want to use. I'll use a couple sprinkles. I don't want to say sprinkle, like just a little sprinkle on top, not a whole lot. I gotta do this again. I gotta delete one of these videos on here. I think.
And I did see a video.
Which video?
One that you just edited.
Oh.
The one.
Oh, yeah. Then,
I'm gonna start writing stuff up here.
okay, can I finish this up, please? Thank you. You can tell me that in a little bit. Same thing. You want to use, I want to say a teaspoon of garlic powder. Remember, it's to taste, so whatever, you know, whatever you have to taste, right? Again, the same thing. Onion powder. Okay, you want to use, a teaspoon of this. If you need more taste, I would say 1.5 teaspoons if you want more taste, depending on how much you're making. Remember, it goes by how much you're making. Okay? Oregano, which I just put out. So I would say 1.5 teaspoons of that. Sorry, teaspoon. Parsley. All these seasons I'm telling you is a teaspoon. Okay, guys, a teaspoon. Right here, Italian seasoning, same thing. Cumin, you want to use that. Okay, again, cumin. Use that. Remember, I don't have that right now, so. And paprika. I use paprika. Remember, that is only like a couple sprinkles. That one you don't need a lot of paprika. Maybe 1/2 teaspoon or something, or something like that. You don't need much of that. Okay, so you mix all that up. Just like that. Okay, and before you pour the rice, I'm going to say, please wash your rice. Wash your rice. So I'm gonna put my stuff in there. I'm gonna wash it. You can measure. I usually put, for like this pot, I usually put like six of these, 6 to 8. It's a whole cup to make, but you can use half. If you're gonna use like a little pot, you wanna use 4 or 5 of these, okay? Because it does grow. So then you wanna wash your rice. I'm washing my rice, guys. Hold on. So you want to wash it a couple times. I want to say about 4 or 5 times wash your rice. Then you want to mix it. Now the rice, you don't want to over drown it. Please, you don't want to over drown your rice. So, like I said, I don't. You want to make your rice, make sure that the water or not covers your rice. But you don't want to put too much water in it because then you like drown your rice. And you don't want to do that. This right here is. So this is done. Sorry guys.
There's boxes downstairs though.
Hmm?
And I can't take my banner like I said. He said it's yours, but I'll keep it safe for it now.
Alright.
Hey y'all! She about to be stressed out. You can tell on her face. Look at her. Look at her. She about to crack that smile too. Hmm?
A good way to test your rice to make sure it's enough water and not less water is you always want to like kind of like, this is like a plastic spoon, but I know it's my I know it's enough, but I'm just showing you. So you just want to like, if your spoon, whatever, stands up, like straight up, it sticks stand up, that means you have enough rice, have enough water, is good. If it falls down, you look like it's a little bit too watery, and you know it's too much water, you want to take some water out so it's not too watery, because if not, it's going to stick, it's going to look like a ball instead of like rice. Yeah, instead of rice. So.
I made that mistake, guys, so I made it.
So you don't want to do that. That's my point. Then when you take it, you want to take it and cover it, the rice. You want to take and cover the rice with the lid. Let it sit there. It will dry. Once it gets dry, once it dries up, you're gonna see it's. I'll show you the next part of it. Once it dries up, you see it's no water in there. Then you turn it and you mix the rice. You're gonna mix it, put it all in the middle, mix it around, and then you then what happens is then you cover it and lower the flame. So this. I did forget one more thing to tell you guys is that one thing I did forget to add was that when you were putting, once you have put all your seasoning, you put your water in, you gotta taste it to make sure it has enough salt in it. If it's too salty, don't put enough. But if it doesn't have like that enough salt flavor, you can take some regular salt. Unless you are on a sodium restricted diet, then don't. But if you're not, take the salt, take a little bit of salt, add a couple dashes of salt in there, not much, and mix it, and then let it set, and then turn the rice when it dries. That point I did forgot to tell you guys. So yeah, so that's one thing I forgot to tell you about the salt. Just add a little bit of salt. If it's not, doesn't have a little bit more taste, add some salt, and it will do a little taste. So then you'll be good with that. Again, like I just turned the rice, as you see. I just turned the rice. I'm just waiting to it, like about 10 more minutes. Give it 10 more minutes. I did turn the fire down, so I give it 10 more minutes, give or take, and then I will come back and turn it again, so that I will come mix the rice again until it's dry. That will be like another 3 or 4 times, and then the rice should be done. So it's that easy. So yeah, just give me a second, and I will. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. My whole phone just like fell. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'll come back so we'll just be rice. See guys how it's thick. I'm gonna stir it so you can see. Look at that. So this is done. It's been a half an hour. About 20 minutes, so it's done. Since I boiled the chicken beforehand, it only took 20 minutes. So this is it. This is the pollo guisado. It would look like this. You know, the chicken stew. So look at all this yummy goodness. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, so yummy. So that's pollo guisado. That's what it would look like, guys. Next, I want to show you, as soon as I had to turn the rice, I'm going to show you what the rice and gandules would look like. Stay tuned. See, it's kind of like dried up a little bit, as you can see. I'm going to mix it because, you see? Wait, hold this camera here. This one on here while I stir this, please. Sorry.
Y'all, it's about to be the professional in the cut. No, stupid.
But you gotta point in. And then you cover it up. And
You let it sit for more.
Well, oh yeah, you gotta let it cook more. But you cover it up after you turn it, and you cover it. See, so you wanna turn it, cover it, cook for about another 10 minutes, and then come and stir it again. Let it dry up a little bit more, but you want to turn it down so it doesn't. So this is the final. You can see it. So that's the final what it would look like. So I turned it a couple times. So sorry. So I did turn it a couple times. Oops. Sorry. So I did turn it a couple times. I turned them about 3 or 4 times. So yes, I did turn it 3 or 4 times. So the rice, it cooked. I did cook it on lower than medium high, so it cooked all the way through. So that is my little tutorial rice with beans and chicken stew, what you could call them. So that is basically how you make the rice, it's very simple, right? I know it's kind of long, but because I'm like checking it step by step, but it is pretty easy. It's not hard to make at all. I will be dropping like the recipe at the bottom of the left and the video. I probably could just write it in to you guys. Just comment if you want the recipe and you want, I can email it to you, I can send it to you, whatnot. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell at the top, so you can get notifications every time I post a new video. Also, yeah, just like, comment, subscribe, please, to my channel. Any questions you have on on this video, or any video that I have, I'll be glad to answer any of your questions. If you want the recipe, I can email it to you. or I can inbox it to you. I will put it at the end of the video as well, what the recipe is and what you need. But just comment and I'll answer any question you have. But thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate it so much. You guys are awesome. So thank you for watching my video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.